Good morning, Facebook. Let's see, wait, which audio do I have? Okay, cool. My Facebook. Okay, good morning. How's it going today? Joe here. I am back from vacation. Actually, I was back late Monday night. I know it's Thursday. I had 2 days slammed with clients, slammed with some of the volunteer work that I did. It was two very fulfilling days, but it was really overwhelming to be honest. Just getting back from vacation Monday night, and then boom, like a 9 to 9 kind of day. Yes, Wednesday, right? So today's a little lighter for me, a little easier for me. Doing a little bit of work this morning. Then I'm gonna take some time off, get a haircut, and things like that. Get this beard trimmed. So what's up, Facebook? I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be in the flow. I'm glad to be creative. As much as I loved being on vacation, there's a part of me that really missed being creative in these videos and sharing the things that I learned throughout my life and sharing the things I learned that I help my clients with. It just feels like a part of me, and I'm just glad to be back. So I want to say what's up. I want to say hi. I want to interact. I want to dialogue, not a monologue, because anyone who knows me in my personal life knows I can fucking monologue. So if you're here, say what's going on, say what's up, tell me what's happening in your world today. Just say hi. And actually, you know what? I have a little prompt I think would be fun. So this video is actually about how I went mountain biking for the first time last Saturday, and I crashed into a tree. In fact, I can't show you because like it's down here, but I've got a nice scratch across my leg where I was bleeding, and a few bruises and bumps. But essentially, I crashed into a tree the first time I went mountain biking. Luckily, it didn't ruin my experience. And so, share with me. Tell me what's up. Have you ever hurt yourself when you were trying a new activity or a new experience? Now, this could be physical hurt, like me crashing into a tree. Luckily, I'm not that injured, but it sucked. It was annoying, and it actually happened several times. Or maybe it's something emotional, like you went to go hang out with a new group of friends, or you tried some sort of like new exercise, class, and just felt really embarrassed, or something was hard. But anyway, what's a time that you've actually created a challenge for yourself or hurt yourself when you were trying a new activity? The reason I'm asking for this is not to bring up the pain, but it's actually to celebrate trying new things, to celebrate the willingness to actually be uncomfortable or to make mistakes or get hurt or to be new at something, to be uncertain, to not know. Because we grow outside the comfort zone. So that's what's up. If you've ever hurt yourself physically or emotionally, trying a new thing, a new activity, a new experience, let me know what it is, because this video is going to be about that a little bit. So let me see who's here, who's with me right now. I know somebody's watching. If you're here, say hi. If you're watching in the replay, say hi as well. And now I'm going to tell you the story and drop into a little bit of a lesson as well too. So whether you're watching live or in the replay, anytime something is resonating for you, if you're like, oh my God, I totally get that, or it just makes sense to you, or it's valuable, I want you to hit me with that fire emoji. Let me know it's valuable. Let me know you're watching. Let me know when things resonate. If you want to comment, comment. So I want to make sure that this is a two-way street here. So essentially, here's the bottom line. I paid for mountain biking lessons. I've been getting into cycling. If you've been watching what I'm up to the last year and a half or so, ever since meeting my beautiful partner, an amazing and brilliant and wonderful and deeply loving and soulful partner, Natalie, who's an avid cyclist, I've been becoming a cyclist. And we went to Vermont. We had this beautiful trip, and so much of it was planned around cycling. I even selected a place that was close to tons and tons of gravel trails and gravel roads, because my new bike's a gravel bike. It's one of the more versatile bikes. It's kind of road bike shape, but has the beefiness, the capacity, the big tires, the big wheels, the steel frame to take gravel roads in stride. So we did a bunch of gravel biking. We did a bike packing trip, which is like backpacking, but on cycles. Really fascinating, really liberating, really challenging. And Natalie just bought a new mountain bike, and we're up in this beautiful area, and she had this idea of renting some mountain bikes. And I'll tell you what, I love taking risks, I love challenging my body, but I don't love jumping into a new dangerous activity without some training. And since she has a new mountain bike, I thought, well, how beautiful would it be for us to take a lesson? So we hired a mountain biking coach. This guy was really cool. He actually does skiing and downhill skiing instruction in the winter. He does mountain biking instruction during the year. During the summer, he does brewery tours and food tours when it's not COVID. This is really great, and he was a great coach. So one of the first things he told us is something I already know. He taught us that you're going to be constantly going over big obstacles. There's going to be large roots in the trail. There's going to be dips in the trail. There's going to be big rocks in the trail. There's going to be trees to the left and to the right of the trail. You're going to be at times going around really tight corners, because anyone who's been on mountain biking trails knows it's really about those fun switchbacks, right? And like just getting into it. So he's teaching us all this physical technique, and he's teaching us all of these things to do with our feet and our body weight. And he's having us do drills to figure out how to make sure that we know how to be in like the ready position and the attack position and all that cool stuff. And it was a lot of fun. And he says to us, of course, one of the most important things to remember is actually not physical, it's mental. And he said, when you fixate on the problem or the obstacle, you are going to hit it. Because the way that the mind-body connection works is that whatever you're looking at, even if it's what you want to avoid, somehow your unconscious mind, or I don't know the biology behind it, or the science behind it, the neurology behind it, but somehow you will end up moving towards the thing that you're focused on, the things that you're looking at, the things that you're fixated on. So then he trained us and taught us. He did a little drill with us where we had the bike up and we were like, had it up on the back wheel and we were pushing the bike forward, and he had us looking at the mountain horizon ahead of us, but seeing a cone about 30 feet away, showing us that we can actually look at the horizon. We can look at the beautiful vision of the mountain top ahead of us and still see and not hit that cone. In fact, each of us were able to stop within inches of a cone that we were not allowed to look at. It was really cool. So he reminded us that what you fixate on, what you look at, is what you are going to hit, what you're going to run into, is the direction you're going to go. So he said, you got to always be looking at where you want to go, not what you want to avoid. And so, of course, I took a moment and said, I'm a life coach. I work with people in creating big career changes and big relationship changes and improving their health. And it's the same thing I tell people all the time. You got to be fixated on where you want to go, on the vision, and not on the obstacles. So this is so common, and I talk to clients about this all the time. Clients come to me and tell me that they have a place they want to go in life. They want a big career change. They want to leave their business. They want to start a business. They are in a relationship that's really beautiful and happy in so many ways, but over the years, the wife and the husband maybe have grown apart, or partners have grown apart a little bit, and they want to reconnect. Or maybe someone's going through divorce and they really want to rebuild their life without all of the burdens and shackles and problems that they had in the old life. But what happens in all these scenarios is people come to me and they're fixated on two things. They're fixated on what they're no longer willing to tolerate, or what they're tired of in their life. Let's say they're tired of not feeling connection with their partner. Let's say they're tired of taking shit from their boss. And even though they have a great paying job, they're tired of killing themselves for something they don't believe in and they're not passionate about. So they're fixated on that. They're fixated on what they no longer want. Or they're fixated on the obstacles or the problems, right? It was amazingly synchronistic, because one of my first client session back from vacation, I have a client who's in a process where he's saving money right now, where he's going to take 6 months off of his current work. He's going to do some contracting work to pay the bills, and he's going to train himself on a bunch of skills, both a yoga teacher training and a bunch of technological skill sets, so that he can actually start the company he loves in a year or two. But for right now, he really just wants to be independent. He wants to do independent contracting, and he wants to take several months to, kind of like simmer down from the high stress position that he's been in startup companies for the last several years as a project manager or whatever, project architect. I don't know the difference, right? But anyway, this is what he was talking about, is he was just so fixated on, well, how do I pay for, insurance during this break? How do I figure out my rates to offer as consulting for my past employers who've talked to me about hiring me? How do I overcome the tension of, I'm a guy who actually loves to do a lot. When I have open space, I get anxious. And he was really fixated on that. So people fixate on either the thing that they're tired of, the thing that they're done with, that they want to avoid, or they're fixating on the obstacles in their way towards the path that they want to get to. And of course, like them, I was doing the same thing on the mountain biking trail. I was fixating on even though he told me and I knew conceptually, something about the fear that I had of hitting these obstacles and hitting these big rocks, and especially when we were doing uphill climbs on the switchbacks and we were going around tight turns uphill, there was something weird where it's like I wasn't able to on my own fixate on the direction I wanted to go. I kept looking at the tree on the side of the trail, or I kept looking at the turn and how technically difficult it was. And so I would fall off the bike in uphill turns. Several times that happened. A couple times I ran into fucking trees. Now, luckily these aren't big trees. Luckily I'm pretty good shape. Luckily, even though it feels like you're going a million miles per hour on downhill mountain biking, the kind of trails we were on, we weren't going that fast. So I did scrape myself up, I scratched myself up, I banged myself up, I bruised myself up, but I was safe. Now here's the thing. When I had the coach close to me and yelling, look through the turn, look through where you want to go, keep driving through the turn, or he'd say, sprint through this turn, don't worry about the obstacles, this amazing thing would happen. The big rock, the tree, the root, they were still there, but my body and the bike were actually really capable of rolling right over those obstacles. Now, it's exactly the same. When I wanted to start my business, or when I wanted to leave my last relationship, it was easy for me to think about the problems or think about the obstacles. It was easy for me to think about, like, what if I don't ever find a partner that's better? Or what if I don't have the guts to create the life that I want? What about the time that I'm going to spend feeling lonely? I know how important connection and love and touch and sexuality are for me. So I was worried about the obstacle in my direct line of vision, in my future, not focused on the big vision. What helped me when I was starting my business, and what helps me when I'm transitioning my business, because surprise, anyone who's not an entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur, you know this, but for most of us, we're constantly pivoting when we're in business. We're constantly trying new strategies. We're constantly letting go of what worked last year because it's not working this year, and we know it won't work 2 years from now. We're constantly trying new things. So whenever I want to pivot my business, whenever I'm looking to change up my dietary plan, because I'm always tweaking and changing and adjusting and maximizing, or like letting go of optimizing, there's fear. There's fear about the preeminent obstacles. So when have you, this is the most important part, when have you had a dream or a vision for your life where you wanted to create real change, but you had a hard time focusing on anything but the obstacle or the challenge in your way? Right? When has that been you? Sometimes, I want to give you some examples of how this happens with me or with my clients. Is it when you want to have a bold conversation with your partner that you think will improve your relationship, but you keep thinking about how they may get upset when you bring up the topic? Like, who does that? A lot of people do that. My clients are always doing that. And I'm always helping them realize, you know what? A, we can work on the language, but B, this is just one obstacle. She or he may get upset, and it'll still improve the relationship. Is it when you want to change industries, or you want to get out of your job, or you want to sell your company, and you just feel too afraid of the pay cut or the uncertainty, or you want to start the business, but you're worried about, there's 1,000 strategies, so which one do I pick to start? Is it when you are ready to dive deeper into creating a more fulfilling social life? This is actually something I was working with a client with yesterday. He moved to a new city. Yes, during coronavirus, people are still getting jobs and still moving to a new city. I see it all the time. I was just on a group call yesterday with a guy who moved to DC recently. So maybe you want to create a better social life, a more fulfilling social life, but you get stuck and overwhelmed about all the kinds of activities or choices, or you get stuck on the fact that sometimes you're socially awkward, or that you've had bad experiences going to meetups or the new workout classes, right? We all do this. We all do this. When do you do it? Which do you do it in, right? So if you do this in your romantic life, in your dating life, in your love life, in your relationship life, hit me up with a 1. If you do this around your career or your business life, hit me up with a 2. If you do this when it comes to, say, your social life or your health, hit me with a 3. Let me know which one of these you struggle with. We all do this. In fact, I was doing a good bit, as I just mentioned, with my recent move-in with my partner, Natalie. I knew I want to be with her. I know that I want to start our life together. I know the vision that we have for our life and how beautiful it is and how excited it is. how exciting I am for it. Excited I am for it. Can't even speak about it. But I was overly focused at times on the things I loved about my old home, the things I loved about my old routine, the things I loved about being autonomous with my time and my food and all these things that were going to change. And when I was focused on those things, it created disconnection. It created fear for me. It created moments of even anxiety or depression. And we had some rough patches. When I was focused on how much I love this person, how much I know I'm adaptable to change, and how much I can think about the vision 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the line. When I can think about the fact that this is just one home that we'll live in, and this is just one transition that we'll have together. When I'm focused on the beauty of what we want to build, none of this matters. None of this matters. So we all do it. I do it. You do it. The bottom line is about returning to love over fear and courage over comfort. And that's why having a shared vision with someone you care about, or having a deeply connected vision for yourself, is really important. So I'm going to stop for a moment. I'm going to see what's going on with the comments, and then I'm going to share the final takeaway, the one lesson that I really want you to understand from this. All right, cool. So check it out. I see some people are here. Nellie's here. What's up, Nellie? Love seeing you. Glad to be back and seeing you in my comments. What's up, Eric? How you doing, brother? Yep, what we resist persists. That's right. So the thing that we try and avoid, it keeps showing up. This is true in shadow work. This is true in recovery. This is true in any parts of our life. Yeah, I'm glad I was okay too. Larry says, "Is that revisiting trauma?" I don't know which part. Oh yes, fixating on the obstacle. It can be, but I actually think that at times it's not. I think at times we are just trained as human animals to avoid discomfort, to avoid getting hurt, to survive. So we just have learned to fixate on the thing that we don't want, and we think we're likely to avoid it, right? But yeah, maybe for some people it's rehearsing trauma, it's revisiting traumas. I don't know, Larry. I just know what helps us move forward, right? Yeah, Nelly, you get social anxiety. I do too. And it's something that we can all overcome and we can work with. So anyway, thank you, Larry. Thank you, Milan. I saw Milan posted. I missed what you wrote, man. What'd you write? Milan, I learned about this riding motorcycles. Yeah, they talk about object fixation and to avoid accidents. It's a great metaphor for life. Dude, motorcycles and bicycling have so many metaphors for life. If anyone who's out there right now, if you want to change the way you experience life, like start cycling or get a motorcycle license, it's profound. One of my favorites is, so Natalie has this journal that says, for most people, the uphill is what they want. But in cycling, remember, the downhill is when you pick up momentum. It's something like that, right? And there's all these beautiful metaphors in cycling and motorcycles, right? So here's the bottom line. I want you to keep commenting and keep hitting me up with the fire emoji if this resonates for you. But here's the takeaway. There's a thing I want you to leave with. You've been listening to me for 10 or 15 minutes, however long it is. I lose track of time. When you're ready to make a big change in your life or your career or your love life or your health, you have to learn to keep bringing your focus and your fixation back on your vision, back on the direction you want to go. You will automatically keep looking down at the obstacles. You'll keep looking at the hard conversation and that your partner might get upset. You'll keep looking at the temporary cost of hiring a personal trainer, or you'll keep looking at the discomfort of learning a new way of eating. You'll keep looking at the potential for loss of income when you want to change a career, or the confusion that you may have, or the people that you may frustrate if you close your business, if you sell it. You might get fixated on letting people down if you want to leave a business and start your private consulting. But you have to keep looking at your future. You have to keep looking at your vision. And it's a matter of training the mental muscles to keep looking at what's possible and to keep diving deep into your vision. Now, I have some new programs that I run, and one of them is called Clear Head. It's a 4-month coaching program. We start by doing a deep dive into your vision for what you want. And one of my gifts is that I can poke you and prod you and challenge you to pull out parts of the vision that A, you either didn't even know you wanted or weren't part of your vision, or B, that you don't believe you can truly access, so you limit yourself. In that early sessions of my 4-month Clear Head coaching program, we really get clear on your values and your vision and keep revisiting them. So that way, 3, 4, 6 months down the line, you can keep reminding you about the vision, about what you say you want. So I can say to you, or you can post up on the wall, this is the vision, this is where I'm going. And you can keep moving in that direction. And I can remind you that the roots and the obstacles and the rocks and the trees, if you do run into them, you can handle it, you'll be okay. You'll have a scrape, you'll scratch yourself, you'll wipe yourself off, you'll get back on the bike, if you will. And B, you probably won't hit them, most likely. And C, if you do, you are designed to run over these obstacles with ease and joy and simplicity if you keep looking into the future, keep looking at the vision. So that's what I got for you today. If you want to take a deeper look at your vision, I want you to comment vision. Here's the deal. I actually have a couple coaching slots open in my practice. So going into next week, the first week of September, I have a little bit extra time. If you comment vision in the comments, I will message you and I will talk to you a little bit about your vision. If it feels right, I'll invite you. I'll waive my fee for a complimentary coaching session next week. I've got some time. I can squeeze in a couple of sessions with people to help deepen into your vision. If you're curious about my 4-month coaching program called Clear Head, just comment with the word head and I'll message you and I'll tell you what it's all about, and we can connect and I can share about what we really would want to be looking at and accomplishing. But deeply, it's about getting a clear head so that you can build the life that really lights you the fuck up. And I want to remind you that every single one of you have the capacity to build the skill set and the mindset to create the life that lights you the fuck up. And you do it every day by making certain choices, choosing love over fear, courage over comfort, and creation over consumption. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your energy. I think that your time and your attention and your energy are some of the most valuable resources on the planet. I believe that your love is the most valuable resource on this planet. So I appreciate you sharing all of those with me today. It really does matter. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. And again, if you want help creating that vision, hit me with the word vision in the comments. And I'll hit you up with a message. We'll talk about if it's right to do a session to clarify that vision. It's something I love those like intro sessions, diving into vision. It's so fun to turn from the obstacles and turn from the problem fixation and turn it into the possibility fixation and orientation. It's badass. It's so anyway, I love it. It would be fun for me. It's something that I would love to do for you as a gift. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Peace. Talk to you soon. Have a wonderful, safe weekend full of love and creativity and courage. Talk to you later. Those of you who are in Drop the Armor Dojo, I'll see you in the dojo. Peace.